Besides Nostradamus, Baba Vanga is the name that terrifies humanity because of her prophecies. People all over the world are still interested and confused by these mysterious predictions, which cover a wide range of global events and phenomena. The blind psychic passed away in 1996, but left behind various predictions that have come true in the years following her death. For 2024, Baba Vanga has some predictions in store, with some equally as terrifying as those of the past. Join us as we flip through the pages of prophecies in 2024 that are about to be fulfilled and shake the world. Nightmares of the world. Baba, whose real name is Vangelia Pandeva Gushtarova, passed away in 1996, aged 84, and supposedly predicted events terrify the world and even predict her own death. Originally from Bulgaria, the clairvoyant believed she gained her powers during a terrible storm which led to her losing her sight aged 12. And since then, Baba has made predictions about a range of historic events. Also known as the Nostradamus of the Balkans, the psychic is believed to have had some strong vision, that 85% of forecasts being correct. Some of her predictions have even come true following her passing, making for chilling future. So which of her predictions came true? We will reveal it in the next parts. And now, let's see this prophet's predictions for 2024. Assassination of Russian President. Baba Vanga has also predicted the assassination of Russian President Vladimir Putin by a fellow countryman in 2024. While the war in Ukraine rages on, the death of the Russian leader is said to plunge the world into greater uncertainty. She also warned of terror attacks across Europe, while an unnamed big country will carry out biological weapons attacks in 2024, according to some interpretations of her predictions. The end of the world. Before her death, Vanga predicted Europe would be under Islamic leadership by 2043, communism's return by 2076, and the resolution of the world hunger crisis between 2025 and 2028. In 2304, humans supposedly achieved time travel, followed by man-made natural disasters from 2341, rendering Earth uninhabitable. Fear not, as Vanga claims human immortality, assimilation with aliens, and communication with God by 4302. The world's end, according to her, is only in 5079. But we need to take a note at this. Although there are many prophets who make predictions about the end of the world, in reality, God has said that no one knows the day or hour of his coming, but God. But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. Be on guard, be alert. You do not know when that time will come. When the Lord tells us no one knows the day or the hour, he is referring to the truth that nobody knows when his second coming will be. Many individuals throughout time have tried to predict the second coming of Christ, yet there is no way a person can predict the Lord's second coming. The second coming of Christ is often confused with the rapture of the church. Many scholars blend these two events of eschatology to be the same event. However, the second coming of Christ and the rapture are two distinct events. The rapture will occur before the second coming of Christ, because the second coming will not occur until the end of the 7-year tribulation. None of us can predict the time when all of these future events will take place. The rapture is the catalyst for the rest of the events of eschatology, as believers will be taken up to be with the Lord prior to the 7-year tribulation. After the 7-year tribulation will be the second coming of Christ. During this time, Christ will return to fight in the Battle of Armageddon. You can read Revelation chapter 19 verses 11 to 16 for more. In the Battle of Armageddon, the Lord will defeat the Antichrist and the false prophet. Jesus will rule victorious over evil and destroy all those who went against him. The second coming will be drastically different from his first coming. The Lord has already given us the opportunity to place faith in him through the knowledge of the gospel. Yet at his second coming, He will bring the full promises of our salvation to fruition. After the end of the 7-year tribulation, Jesus will reign as king for 1,000 years, and then he will establish the new heaven and new earth. When God establishes the new heaven and new earth, the world will be exactly as God first intended it to be in the Garden of Eden. No longer will there be any death, pain, or sadness. Instead, there will only be happiness, joy, and life. The second coming of Christ is something we should all look forward to, as it will be a major event in eschatology. If you are presently already a believer, you can be confident in the knowledge that you will return with Christ at his second coming and help fight in the battle of Armageddon. All believers who have died or been taken up in the rapture prior to the 7-year tribulation will return to Christ to fight in the battle of Armageddon. While this may be frightening, we can trust in the Lord and in his future plans. Intense earthquake. The seer also saw that a devastating earthquake of great proportions would take place in the United States, of such magnitude that it will change the course of the waters of the Mississippi River and will leave many lives lost, in addition to great material damage. There has now been an unexpected earthquake in the U.S. this year, a 4.7 magnitude quake that hit New York City on Friday, April 5th. However, it has not changed the course of the Mississippi, and thankfully also not caused any serious damage to the city. The epicenter was in Lebanon, New Jersey, around 45 miles from New York City. But the year 2024 has only passed 1/3. There's still a long way to go, and we don't know what the timing will look like. Will there be a terrible earthquake that will shake the world in general and the United States in particular, as Vanga prophesied? Besides earthquake, Vanga also talked about the huge, powerful tsunami gonna attack the world, according to Baba Vanga, who supposedly predicted the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. 2 decades later, another even more powerful tsunami expected to hit the Asian continent. Indeed, Japan is dealing with a 7.6 magnitude earthquake, which will create a tsunami. Cure for cancer. The mystic predicted that new cures for diseases like Alzheimer's and cancer will be invented this year. It sounds unbelievable, but, nothing is impossible with the rapid development of world medicine. President Vladimir Putin recently said that Russian scientists are close to creating a vaccine for cancer that could soon be available to patients. He said, "We have reached a significant milestone in the development of cancer vaccines and next-generation immunomodulatory drugs. I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy," he added, speaking at a Moscow forum on future technologies. However, he did not specify the types of cancer the proposed vaccines would target. Furthermore, recent developments have confirmed progress in the development of a lung cancer vaccine. The United Kingdom has allocated funding for 2 years of laboratory research and initial manufacturing of 3,000 doses for a DNA-based lung cancer vaccine, as stated in a press release from the University of Oxford, located in Oxford, England. But it cannot be denied that the world will have a positive outlook for cancer patients, and we can fully expect that miracle will happen in 2024. Economic crisis. Baba Vanga also reportedly foretold that there will be a huge economic crisis that will impact the global economy in 2024. Factors like rising debt levels and escalating geopolitical tensions will be the reasons for this. Already this year, millions of Americans are grappling with persistent inflation, impeding their ability to secure their financial future, as outlined in a recent study released by Allianz Life. The UK sank into recession at the end of last year due to high inflation and a cost of living crisis, dealing a blow to Prime Minister Rishi Sunak before this year's election. Agency AFP, gross domestic product shrank 0.3% in the fourth quarter of 2023 after contracting 0.1% in the prior 3 months. That places the economy in recession, which is defined as 2 successive quarters of falling GDP. Japan witnessed an economic contraction in the final quarter of 2023 due to sluggish domestic consumption. Japan's economy also shrank for 2 quarters in a row. The country's GDP shrank by 0.4% in the last 3 months of 2023 compared to a year earlier. It also slipped below Germany last year to 4th place in the list of world's biggest economies. Despite growing 1.9%, Japan's nominal 2023 gross domestic product in dollar terms was $4.2 trillion, government data showed, compared with $4.5 trillion for Germany. Throughout 2023, the U.S. economy, the largest in the world, expanded by 2.5%, up from 1.9% in 2022. In the current January-March quarter, it is projected that the economy is growing at a slower but still respectable annual rate of 2.1%. China is also encountering economic hurdles, cyber attacks. This may be among the most impressive of Baba Vanga's predictions, since the internet was still in its very early stages when she passed away in 1996. The mystic predicted hackers would increase their attacks, especially against vital infrastructure, thus possibly creating security dangers worldwide. In a similar vein, or wire as it were, Vanga predicted that cyber hackers would amplify threats to national security by targeting infrastructures like power grids and water treatment plants. Most recently, AT&T recently announced a dataset found on the dark web contains information including some social security numbers and passcodes for about 7.6 million current and 65.4 million former account holders. Whether the data originated from AT&T or one of its vendors is still unknown, the Dallas-based company noted, adding that it had launched an investigation into the incident. AT&T has also begun notifying customers whose personal information was compromised. Apple, Meta, and X have all disclosed cybersecurity attacks over the past few years. Nuclear disaster. Regarding the prediction that a nuclear disaster will soon occur, she said that its consequences are extremely far-reaching, affecting global politics, the environment, and all humanity. This event has the potential to destabilize international relations, spark conflict, and lead to changes in the global balance of power. The severity of this prediction has sparked countless speculations. However, critics argue that oracles can still be influenced by social and cultural contexts, and interpretations of prophecies can vary widely. One aspect that needs to be considered is the possibility that Baba Vanga's prediction has a symbolic or metaphorical meaning. Prophecies are often based on symbolism, and interpreting them literally can lead to misunderstandings. What is needed is to interpret the predictions with an open mind, as well as consider alternative interpretations to fully grasp their message. An uptick in terrorism and biological weapons testing. Baba Vanga warned of increased terrorist activities in Europe and hinted at the possibility of a major country engaging in biological weapons, testing, or launching attacks. Presently, the Israel-Hamas conflict and Russia's invasion of Ukraine remain prominent issues. In fact, because the balance of international power has changed, is China rising as many people think? Or Russia is declining rapidly? Might be China's development cannot make up for Russia's decline, so the power to balance the West is gradually becoming weaker. There are more and more democratic countries, and their power is getting stronger, such as Eastern Europe and India. NATO is gradually expanding eastward, and a pattern of encircling China is also taking shape. Many territorial disputes between Russia and China are being unearthed from history. Russia's rule over Tatars, Chechnya, and many other ethnic states in the southwest, and China's rule over East Turkestan, Tibet, southern Mongolia, and Hong Kong are becoming less and less recognized by the world. In olden days, all that people had to do was to grow up, have a source of income, have family, spend time with them, raise the kids, enjoy the festivals, fairs once a year, wait for your last moment. They had to worry only for food, shelter, safety, and bit dignity or honor in the society. That's it. I am not saying that the life was easy then, but it was more simpler. Whereas now, it is too difficult to have a peaceful life. Since we get to know everything about anything, we grow a tendency of having them. Be it money, fame, skills, or anything. We are getting overloaded with knowledge. Because of internet and entertainment media, the whole idea of life is changing. We want to become a successful person, an entrepreneur, want to have a relationship, want to learn music, want to travel the whole world, become rich, and what else? We start to compare ourselves as we get to know what has other person done in his, her life. That is the biggest villain of peace of mind. The wrath of nature. Baba Vanga had predicted the occurrence of severe weather events and natural disasters in 2024. According to a study published, global heat waves are occurring 67% more frequently. The study reveals that the highest temperatures during these heat waves have increased compared to those recorded 40 years ago, and the affected area under a heat dome has expanded. The study further notes that from 1979 to 1983, global heat waves typically lasted for 8 days on average, whereas from 2016 to 2020, the duration extended to 12 days. Additionally, the World Meteorological Organization has stated that there is a high probability that 2024 will register as another record hot year. With that, Baba Vanga also predicted that there is a forecast of an orbital change that could cause devastating natural disasters across the world. Other predictions. Here are some other predictions of Vanga that might curious you. Number 1 is messages from space. According to her, the first contact with aliens should be made in 2024. Although it seems like the fruit of science fiction, many are looking forward to a possible intergalactic chat. Number 2, the dragon that will take over is another of the mysterious predictions. Is it a new world force, an unusual natural phenomenon, or the rise of artificial intelligence that will surpass everything we know? Number 3, Donald Trump and the mysterious disease. While political predictions are nothing new, this one adds an intriguing twist to the controversial politician's potential comeback. Number 4, death of a young leader. One of the predictions is related to the death of a young leader who started the end of the old empire. This may foreshadow the murder of Alexei Navalny. Number 5, Putin in danger and European trials. Predictions of political upheavals and dangers are not limited to one area, indicating Vanga's vision of global tension. He directly announces the assassination of Putin, and we must not forget about climate change, which are expected to bring catastrophic consequences, a cure for cancer that promises hope for many, and quantum computing that promises a revolution in technology. And Nostradamus also has similar predictions for 2024. He also has quite a few predictions about 2024. You can watch our previous videos to follow more closely. In this video, I will review some of the prophecies of this French man. In 2024, as he predicted Nostradamus 2024, Putin's leadership will dance with its destiny in the year of the dragon, facing challenges and opportunities. China, with its global expansion, is predicted to rise to unparalleled prominence, perhaps even overshadowing other superpowers. The medical world will be full of groundbreaking advances in the field of artificial organs, which could revolutionize transplants. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence will see a huge surge, transforming various sectors and possibly ushering in a new era of technological marvels. Finally, Western Europe will witness the rise of a charismatic young leader whose influence will spread across the geopolitical landscape. The first prediction is Putin's tango with the dragon in 2024. 2024 is a year when dragons exist not only in fantasy novels, but also in astrological charts that influence world leaders. Putin is ready to dance with his destiny in this year of the dragon. Will he gracefully move through the challenges, or will the dragon's fiery breath be too hot? The cosmic dance card is set, and the world watches with bated breath. The second prediction related to a powerful country in the world, which is currently standing opposite America, that is China. Following his prediction, in his year, China will turn from the Great Wall to the Global Hall. China has already made quite a stir, and not just with its delicious dim sum. Their global footprint is expanding faster than a spilled cup of green tea. Nostradamus hinted that they could be the next world leaders. Will they be a world-leading star, or will they present a wider menu of international collaborations? The future fortune cookie still remains undisclosed. Printing the future organ by organ is the third prediction. Imagine a world where your 3D printer produces a brand new liver with the morning paper. By 2024, we could be on the verge of such biomedical miracles, thanks to Nostradamus. The future of organ transplantation could be as simple as choosing a template, clicking print, and voila, heart fresh from the printer. The rise of AI is something that almost every prophet has mentioned. That is also the fourth prediction of Nostradamus. Artificial intelligence, from smart assistants to rulers? 2024 is not all about kites and dances. It's the dawn of a new technological age where artificial intelligence isn't just about asking Siri about the weather. Nostradamus envisioned a world where AI-powered innovation isn't just smart, are revolutionary. From doctors diagnosing diseases with artificial intelligence to robots possibly making the perfect cup of coffee, the future is automated and hopefully exciting. If Vanga prophesied that Europe would be under Islamic leadership, Nostradamus also had a more vague prediction about Europe. European rising star, the charismatic conundrum. The vague meaning here is that it is unclear how good or bad the next European leader will be. Somewhere in the beautiful streets of Western Europe, a young leader will appear. With the narrative power of Shakespeare and the charm of a modern influencer, this individual is predicted to sway the masses and reshape geopolitics. Will he be a beacon of hope in turbulent times or a catalyst for unforeseen change? Only the hourglass of time will tell. Nightmares have came true. While we wait to see what these prophecies will be like in 2024 and when they will come true, let's look back at the events that scared the whole world as they watched them take shape, which Vanga's prediction. America's scream. This is probably Vanga's most mentioned prophecy. In another chilling claim made in 1989, Baba said, "Horror! Horror! The American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. The wolves will be howling in a bush, and innocent blood will be gushing." According to true believers, the steel birds refer to the hijacked planes. It's also striking that she uses the word Bush. This may be interpreted as a reference to then-President George Bush, who would lead the wolves of American military might in the retaliatory war on terror. Hearing this, you can guess what event it is, right? At that time, the whole United States was plunged into the darkness of pain and helplessness. The giant has indeed fallen, but he has risen. Her own death. It seems she did predict her own death date. That's according to an interview from 1990, when she reportedly pointed to August 11, 1996, as the day she would shuffle off this mortal coil. That was indeed the case. But, as with all aspects of Baba Vanga lore, the precise facts about what this mysterious and fascinating woman did or didn't say are likely to remain lost in a fog of folklore forevermore. Barack Obama and Donald Trump. Baba said that the 44th President of the United States would be black. This came true when Barack Obama secured the position. However, Baba did also say that the 44th President would be the last. In another presidential prediction, there are claims that Baba predicted what would happen with Donald Trump. She said, "Everyone will put their hopes in him to end it, but the opposite will happen. He will bring the country down and conflicts between North and South states will escalate." Donald Trump is also the name that appears most often in The Simpsons prophecies. Please play our previous video to see what this interesting animated film has to say about the former US president. Indira Gandhi. Assassination. Former Prime Minister of India Indira Gandhi was assassinated in 1984. She was the leader of the country during the early 1980s, ordering a military attack on the Golden Temple, the holiest site in Sikhism, in 1984. In October that year, Gandhi was shot dead by two of her Sikh bodyguards in what was apparently a revenge attack. In 1969, Baba had a vision of the Prime Minister, claiming, "The dress will destroy her. I see an orange-yellow dress in the smoke and fire." On the day she was murdered, Gandhi was wearing a saffron-colored sari. The Kursk. Baba Vanga claims that she foreseen a dreadful, even that unfolded in the city of Kursk in Russia. The clairvoyant made the prediction in 1980, claiming that the city would be covered with water and the whole world will weep over it. A total of 188 crew members died in August 2000 when a nuclear submarine sank near the city. Floods. Many of Baba's predictions have been related to weather. The psychic is said to have predicted the extreme weather events in 2022 by suggested a number of large cities around the world would be hit by large-scale droughts and water shortages. In 2022, the UK suffered its driest July since 1935, with a drought officially declared on August 12th. A number of other countries in Europe faced the same issue, such as France, Italy, and Portugal. Baba also claimed that Australia and Asia would experience floods, which also happened. In a world where the future remains a mystery, we still like to turn to legends like the prophetess Baba Vanga and Nostradamus. Their predictions for 2024 promise a mix of scientific breakthroughs and global upheaval. From a miracle cure for cancer to possible contact with extraterrestrials, let yourself be taken through the most exciting and some quite incredible prophecies of the Nostradamus of the Balkans and the great seer Nostradamus. In a world facing uncertainty, Vanga's predictions are a source of interest, hope, and, for some, a reminder that the future is unpredictable. Whether we believe her vision or not, her words remind us that the future is woven from the actions of the present. And perhaps this is the secret of its lasting influence. With her predictions, Baba Vanga painted a picture of the future that is both exciting and admonishing. Whether her predictions for 2024 come true or not, they remind us of the power and mystery of human curiosity and the desire to understand what is yet to come. In a world of constant change, perhaps it is this desire that drives us forward.